I think he's brushing the entire sector with too broad a brush because I don't think you can write off cryptocurrencies altogether. Is it going to end badly for some of the people involved? Absolutely. It's going to end badly for those people who got onto the bandwagon late and are playing the pricing game. That's all they're doing. They're hoping to buy at a low price and sell at a high price. And for some of them, it's going to end badly. But looking forward, I agree with your panel that there is a future for fintech. And I think we mix together lots of different kinds of crypto investments in the cryptocurrency space. Some of them are going to succeed. Some of them are going to not. So I think to put them all together in one big bucket and throw them over the edge doesn't make any sense to me.
Is that why you think you can value Ethereum versus Bitcoin?
In fact, when I look at the cryptocurrency buckets, I see three separate buckets. There's the cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin, which cannot be valued because they're currencies. They're crypto commodities. Ethereum is a crypto commodity. What's different about Ethereum is it's not marketed as a currency. It's marketed as a lubricant for smart contracts. And smart contracts are what the fintech, the blockchain revolution is going to deliver. And if Ethereum can become a significant part of that business, you can value it as a commodity. And there are crypto assets, which are what the ICOs are, which can be valued as slices of businesses. So I think to view them all as useless and worthless is, I think, wrong.
It's Karen, let me ask you something. In the original, I guess, internet bubble, 2000, did you find that you had the same ideas about difficulty of valuation, or there were other metrics that got you comfortable then?
You know what? I love valuing difficult to value companies. It makes me strange. I get them wrong every single time.
That's what you got to do.
So I valued Amazon every year since '97. I bought Amazon 4 times. I've sold Amazon 4 times. I didn't buy it at the right time. I didn't sell it at the right time. But to me, there is a way to value these companies. You cannot walk away saying, I don't understand a business, so I cannot value it. Because the older you get, the more of the world you're not going to understand. So if you take the Buffett view, most of the world is going to start to be off, out of bounds for you. So I think we've got to try to value businesses, even if they're young, even if they're in places where everything is evolving, everything is changing.
So I want to get back to Ethereum, since you think that we can evaluate or value Ethereum. How is it valued right now relative to how it's traded?
I'll be quite honest. I think every single crypto asset is being priced right now. It's not being valued. What I mean by that is if you ask people why they're paying what they are for any of these crypto investments, you don't get a fundamental answer. You don't get a logical answer. You get an answer, I think I could make more money on this. So I don't think any of these investments are being valued right now. They're being priced, but that's not unusual either. You could say the same thing about the dot-com sector in the late 90s, is every company was priced. Eventually, valuations matter. And that eventually might be a year from now, 2 years from now. And maybe that's what Buffett is talking about when he talks about a bad end, is when that valuation time comes, some of these crypto investments are not going to hold up. So right now, I don't think anybody's valuing the crypto investment. They're all pricing it.
Okay, they're priced, but how do you value it? Or have you put a valuation on it so we can gauge what the disparity is?
I'll tell you what's holding me back. I don't see a business model yet from Ethereum. They're talking the talk, but they're not walking the walk yet. They're talking about how they're lubricants in the smart contracting business, but they're not being lucid about the way they plan to make money on that business. So I can't get ahead of them and create a business model for them. That's not my job. So until they create a business model, I'm kind of holding back. But I think that that's going to be the next phase in the crypto investment market, is you're going to start to see people pushing these crypto investments to come up with business models to show how they will make money. But that's part of the life cycle of investments as well.
Hey, Dean, it's Brian Kelly. So I'm curious about that, because Ethereum is an open source project. It's not a company, so they're not going to put forth a business model necessary. And part of their value or their value prop is that they are the picks and shovels. You can build on top of this. Isn't that the business model?
But eventually the picks and shovels have to get pennies on the dollar, or cents on the dollar, because without it, the picks and the shovels are worth nothing, right? So ultimately, even if it's an open source model, some of the revenue generated from using those picks and shovels have to accrue to Ethereum. If that doesn't happen, it's worth nothing. If that does happen, it's worth something. So the fact that it's an open source model, it's giving the picks and shovels, doesn't make it necessary that you will not be able to generate those cents on the dollar.
Oswald, thanks for your time. Always great to get your analysis.
Thank you.
Asaf Damodaran of NYU, the dean of